Women typically have a greater fear of heights because of the lack of the hemisphere in their brain and the cross-firing, like with the driving and other things and stuff. And so it takes unique women to overcome that fear of heights. So yesterday when you guys were like, climb the tower, and I did it, I was connecting to women, and women were scared. And when I started climbing up it real fast and it started shaking, I'm like, what do I got to prove? This thing's shaking. The further you get up that tower, the faster you're going, the more it shakes. So this morning when I did it, I just said, just go up nice and steady and you're fine. Then I got up to the top, and there was exactly what I thought would be up there, vulture poop. And I just got up there and then just relaxed and just looked around a little bit. It's got a great view. It's a hell of a workout though, man. That's one hell of a climb. That tower at Dad's house is probably about anywhere, depending on the structure of it, about a 4 to 5 story building. So when you climb up it, it's a workout going up and down. Your body, especially if you're not in real good shape like me, your body feels it, And so, yeah, that was a trip. It's interesting, man. It's a great view. It really is beautiful view. You got the Doñanas. I didn't look over to look at the organs. I guess it was too far over my shoulder. That was at an angle. I looked over towards Picacho Peak and over towards the Doñanas. I'll have to climb it again and look over to the organs. I bet you it's one hell of a view. Maybe if I climb it from the view that looks across over towards the organs instead, there's 3 angles on it. It's a tripod, about a foot. Not even maybe a foot and a half, but it's 3-way, foot and a half kind of a tripod structure that goes up about 4 to 5 stories. And you can just climb up to it. It's got a platform up there on the top. You can't really sit on it. It's too narrow to climb in there and find a place to just sit around and look. And if you climbed it to the top to sit in there and look and stuff like that, it'd be kind of a bitch getting out of there, especially my size, and it just wouldn't be an intelligent thing to do. So, I'm not that stupid. I'm not that adventuresome. I'm going to get up here and do this, and you wouldn't be able to sit comfortably anyway. You'd just be able to stand there trapped in a pin and then try to climb your way out, which would be kind of ludicrous. So now, guys, I ain't going to try to do nothing like that. That's just not worth it for machoism. All right? I already climbed up there. That's good enough for me. It's the fear of heights, and then it's manipulation of fear of heights and stuff like that. And if you're just doing it to overcome fears and stuff like that and then show how agile and stuff you are, you can prove a point, make a stupid mistake, and end up losing your life from it. So I'm not that, I'll get up there and climb up there, and it wasn't scary. Yesterday it was, because I was connecting to a female that was terrified of heights. And as I started climbing up, it started shaking. And then so I was like, wow, what's the point? And then I could feel her. She felt let down because I didn't do it. And then this morning I just said, just go up there and just climb it before you go clean your windows on the truck and head on into the library. And I just did. I just walked up and went right up to the top. And then, it's just I was sore and I was tired after I got up and down, because on the halfway down, I'm like, shit, this is a workout. This is kind of cool. I might do it like once every 2 weeks or so for cardio during my workout sessions and stuff, just to look around and see around, get a better perspective. I'm not real terrified of heights. When I went to the gorge as a kid on the Rio Grande Gorge and looked over the side, my dad and me were looking at it. My sisters, I don't know if they even came out there, but we stepped out the car and looked over, and it was like, holy cow. It was very, whoa, like Wile E. Coyote falling off a cliff kind of thing. But then when I went back with Amy couldn't even get out near the bridge. I went out and took, I think Noah and Natalie. Natalie doesn't get scared. She has this kind of male thing in her that a lot of guys like, that she has this toughness to her. This is very strong. She doesn't get scared. Emily was probably too young, and she was just a little one and stuff, so I wouldn't have taken Emily out there because it would have made Amy nervous. But when we went up to Taos and checked out the gorge, Amy wouldn't go out on it, and me and Natalie, I think it's Natalie, I wasn't even sure if Noah went because he was little, and it's kind of like, but he would have, because he's that type of guy, and he would have hung over the side like, no, you can't, okay. Oh, dude, look, there's a ledge here. It's a big drop, about 100 and some feet. It's, quite a drop there. I don't know if it's that high. I think it's more probably maybe about 60, 70 feet. I'm not sure. Like that, I know that tower is probably anywhere from about 50 feet maybe. Yeah, that's about how high it is. I mean, in a 5-story building is probably close to, I don't know, but it's probably close to about, if you look at it, it's probably about a 50-foot tower. So it's, it's pretty high. It's not that bad though. I mean, but a lot of people, that's really terrifying when you get, because I was climbing up on the roof, and then I looking like, that's only like 1/4 or 1/5 of the way up is to get up on the house. And you look at that tower and it's like, that is quite a climb. I didn't realize it, because you look at all the sections. I was like, wow, you get up there, you can see. And you can. And so it's a trip. That's kind of interesting, guys. I forgot the other topic we were going to talk about. Oh, just surviving. surviving in the USA and surviving, and yeah, just surviving. Yeah, if I continue going down the same venue trying to help, enlighten people and educate people, and they're not listening, and I go down this self-torture path and stuff like that, it's going to have negative rewards. It's just going to look like I'm crazy and want to control and manipulate the environment and get you guys to go into my frame of thinking, which looks like it just possibly might just be impossible at this time in a mass entity. So basically, you give up and live in hell. I don't know what these people have planned. I don't know what their scientific things are. I don't know any of the details. I don't want to know any of the gory details for sure, because if they're not going to do anything about it, and it's manipulative and it's completely screwed up, and that's just what they are, I can't really do anything about it. I mean, I've spent 3.5 years trying to convince them not to do it, and if you can't, I mean, you just got to live in Rome. You do as the Romans do, and just got to do what you got to do. So what I got to do is just get myself in shape and get back to work, cut down the stuff, go back and sign off on the kids, but then make the Fabre's life a living hell from a legal perspective, which they tried to do to me. Go in there and then try to set up all the options and stuff so the kids can come back and stay with the people who treated them right, and we're right by them. So we'll probably find a place where we can stay next to Pat and Emmy and hang out and have fun and have a good family network where we can work together, and stuff like that. And then, the kids and everybody will be old enough, so that way when if all can work out somewhat well and we have environmental changes that they can manipulate in the right well, and if they start to change on their own, which, that's my best possible outcome and scenario, then we've got people to help out, and have a family network between Patrick and Emily and the kids and myself. That's probably my best case scenario. So that's what I'll probably be looking for. I think it's tangible. I could find a woman that would live in a world that, with the changing consciousness that's going on, and insisting on more what you need is more or less what you want, and having a faithful man who loves you and makes love to you, takes care of himself, is healthy, makes sure his kids and his family think in a healthy manner, and he just likes being appreciated. There's probably a mom, if not single, or a single mom, my age, in Las Cruces or wherever we end up, El Paso. I prefer not El Paso, not because I don't like El Paso, but if they're not going to cut down on the carbon emissions and stuff like that, it'd be a horrible environment for the allergies and the asthma that Emily has, and so I have to look for a more sparsely populated than I need a more sparsely populated area with less intense carbon emissions, unless the cities are willing to change overnight and go to more mass transit and stuff like that. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. And then we'll have to sit there, and if the violent repercussions come sooner than later, then we'll see what happens too. Some people have told me that it could be up to 7 years by the time that the tsunami wipes out Florida and the Caribbean and stuff like that. So then the reactions will subsequently follow that up stuff. So it could be, that's right, I already told you guys, anywhere from 10 to 20 years, depending on the ecological and environmental adjustments and stuff like that. So yeah, that's true. I completely forgot about that, guys. So I got time to try to regroup with my family, sit and look towards my gray patterns and find out what's going and what they're up to. So I have to coexist. I have to be a human being. I want to be an essential human being that's ready for the people in case they need me at any time. I am going to cut back on this so I can coexist in this. It's a tortured world by torturing people. I would love to have it to where these people change overnight and be there when people get together and do a reunion with Diane and her kids. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if we're going to get that kind of vindication. We can just hope for that day and take care of ourselves as best as we can, like I explained to her yesterday. They're going to take your kids and ruin your life no matter what you did. Like they did with me here. I knew it was just a matter of time, and then after I said, if I hadn't done that, they'd been back in a week. They'd have tried it a week from now. As long as I kept busting their balls with truth and they kept living a lie, they weren't ever going to stop. The only way they were going to stop is if I went into their churches and their networks and said how wrong I was and how right they are. And they know they're not right, and they know they're wrong. They know they created Amy, and they know what Amy is, and Amy knows what she is. And my brother-in-law knows what he's doing and what he did and the type of people he hangs out with. He knows that they work for pharmaceutical companies that sell poison antidotes. They know. You have to be stupid not to figure this stuff out, especially how long I bombarded and kicked their asses with it. They are brain damage to a point, but then it's personal brain damage. It's self-induced brain damage. It's self-induced abuse. It's just basically like a drug addict or an alcoholic or an abusive person that just can't stop because they won't let themselves stop because they're too prideful, arrogant, and cruel. And they've just evolved into this, and they've stayed this way, and they won't stop being this way until horrible things happen to them. And then when they're laid low by things in life like mine and me and Diane had to go through and stuff like that, that's when they'll change to someone more like me and Diane. Me and Diane don't need those kind of harsh conditions to change and be a good person. We already are because of our biological and classical conditioning that has gone for millennia upon millennia. So, like I told her yesterday, it's like they make your life miserable and like shit because you make them feel like shit through your deeds. And you've always been this type of person, and you've been this way for a long time. It's like I told you guys with relative molecular science and understanding. It's like, if you're a liar today, you were a liar. Your uncle was a liar, and your relatives were a liar, and so Jesus would look at you and say, "You're just like your Uncle Caiaphas. You're just like your Uncle so-and-so, and you can change, just like he could change. But you'll choose not to, and you'll be just like him, and you'll march me to a cross, and you'll crucify me, and you'll deny God, and you'll denounce God, and you'll say you'll have magical solutions, and you'll do all the magical lying crap that you did before, and you'll do it again until you can change yourself. You have to circumcise your own heart with the words that I gave you. And the words that I gave you were not my words. They were the words of all of us working together and God working through me. And if you believe in the Messiah, then you'll believe in the message and you'll change. And if you don't, then you'll continue to be an idolater, a liar, an abusive person. It's just the way it works. So I'm going to go to work. I told you guys we're going to set up the privacy settings on the stuff today. I'm going to get to work trying to find me a good excursion gig. Then I'm going to run down to Arizona. This is my plan. I can't tell you what will happen with these psychopaths. I never know what they'll do. But I think there's a lot of people actually trying to change and wanting to change, but it's a very difficult circumstance at best because of the elusive, crazy conditions that we have set up to live in. They're very heinous, very vulgar, and very insane. Saw a ladybug. It's hard being a ladybug in the world today, man. But I love you guys, man. Just hang in there and do your best, and that's all I can say. Before I was like, let's get this going on. You ain't gonna. Not today. So just hang in there, do your best, keep a positive attitude, try your best to be a good human being. That's all I can give you. That's all the advice I can give you. Hang in there, try to find comfort in life and doing things right. The more things we do right, the better it'll be. We work as a group, collective, connective, and then change will come. I would like it to be more overnight. I believe in miracles that we could do it, but apparently not enough people do. So I'm going to just go, hang in there, and I'll do what I got to do. It's just, people always told me that too. I guess it's because they're not ready to change either. So, hey, if you believe in miracles, they can happen. If you don't believe in miracles, man, then you just have to wait for them to magically happen, and the magic behind a miracle is the people that believe in them. All right, guys, I love you. Got to go. Blessings and peace. I love you too.